Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, and today I'm going to be doing a story arc review on issues 15 and 16 of Deathstroke. And this story arc doesn't actually have a name to it, but I'm just going to call it the Deathless story arc because that seems to be a thing that is repeated constantly throughout this 2-issue arc. And this is actually, or it's also the first arc by Justin Jordan writing and Edgar Salazar on art. Coming off of Deathstroke at this point is Rob Liefeld, who totally sucked at Deathstroke and made me stop reading Deathstroke from like issue 8 to issue 14, and then picked it up issue 15, 16, and we're back in business with Deathstroke because this is great writing by Justin Jordan. Said it in my Pool Week videos where I do a small review on this, but this is going to go in depth on these two stories, and I definitely recommend them both because they are pretty good. Anyways, so of course Deathstroke gets contract. That's what he does, he gets hired. But his contract is to go to a country called Sarvania in Eastern Europe to pretty much overthrow this dictator by the name of Kosuke. I think that's how you'd say it. It's either Kosuke or Kosuke. I'm gonna say it's Kosuke. But essentially this guy cannot be killed. No matter what you do, he can't be killed. In fact, there's points where Deathstroke actually blows up his head and it just regrows right in front of him. So he can't be killed, and so this guy actually overthrows the entire country of Sarvania just single-handedly because, of course, he can't be killed, so nobody stops him. And so now at this point, there's they mention half of the country is too afraid of him, and the other half worships him like a god. So Deathstroke is hired to go and kill this guy because even though it's a small country that nobody's really heard of, they have lithium underground where it would take deep mining to get to that lithium, and there's trillions of dollars worth of lithium that they really want to mine for. I don't know if it's either the U.S. government that wants to mine for it, or they want the people of Sarvania to mine for it so they become, I guess, a wealthier country. So I don't know what it is, but they mentioned that the CIA has been, funding the rebel group of people with guns and supplies to try to overthrow Kosuke, but it hasn't really worked. So they go to Deathstroke and they give him the challenge. They don't even give him money for it. They just challenge him to see if you can kill the unkillable man. Deathstroke, of course, takes the challenge. So, in the country of Sarvania, Deathstroke meets his client, which is a woman, or his contact, which is a woman, and her name is Elena. And she pretty much mentions that that the rebel group will, once Deathstroke kills Kosuke, is that the rebel group will pretty much mine for the lithium themselves and not really spread the wealth throughout the rest of the country. So Deathstroke says, why do you want me to, to kill this guy then? And she's just saying, well, it's the lesser of two evils. But then we find out later on in issue 16 that she actually is part of the rebels. She's actually, in fact, a leader of the rebels, and she's just a sneaky character, but not sneaky enough for Deathstroke. There's a lot of cool action in this, and plus the art is absolutely great. Here's the scene I was telling you about where he gets his head blown off. That's Kosuke getting his head blown off. And like I said, the art, if I can get the glare off, the art is absolutely amazing. Edgar Salazar, great artist, especially for Deathstroke. It's pretty much a breath of fresh air. He goes into detail with the whole regrowing his head back, as you can see. all fleshy, and then it's back to normal. That's what he looks like, and then Deathstroke fighting off the people, because it seems like the people that aren't rebels either are working for Kosuke, or I guess they're fighting Deathstroke off because they want to impress Kosuke. There's some things in here, minor things that I didn't get, like why the people, like the regular people that are being oppressed, are they attack Deathstroke in this issue, and Deathstroke mentions that that the people of Sarvania would be a problem because they would attack him. So I'm guessing that they want to impress Kosuke and show their loyalty to him, because of course Kosuke just kills people, and because he can, and nobody else can do anything about it. So that's what I think it is, but it's never really explained. That was only one of the minor things, but it seems like Deathstroke has his plan the whole time throughout this. It's a very it's not very elaborate, but it's executed very well, and it's pretty cool what it is. In fact, when he's fighting the people, the regular citizens, he lets them win, and he lets pretty much the police force like arrest him, and they drag him into Kosuke's palace, where then he breaks out of the handcuffs, kills all the guards, and Kosuke's like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" He's like, "Pretty much just so it would be easier for me to get inside the palace." So I thought that was pretty cool. Here's the page of that. 2 pages of that. You know, Deathstroke being dragged across the snow, if you can see that. And then he's in the palace, breaks out of the handcuffs, shoots all the guards. Sorry about the glare, but nothing I can do about that. This is all just in issue 15. And he fights off Kosuke, and he pretty much just shoots him, and Kosuke talks a lot. And that's where Kosuke makes his biggest mistake. And he tells Deathstroke his whole deal, like what he is. And he pretty much repeats over and over again that he's deathless, or he can't be killed. And but what he says is that the only person, or the only time that he can be killed, is whenever he says that he's ready to die. So that's where Deathstroke finally comes up with his plan, and it's definitely a lot easier to see where this is going when you read both issues at the same time, but with the whole month apart, definitely it's a surprise. But this is the last page. See Deathstroke getting blown up out of a window. The page before, he just set off a grenade, pushing Kosuke. Because even though Kosuke can't be killed, he can still feel pain. And so that's probably like even worse than not being able to be killed, is actually feeling all the pain of what you would be killed with, but then living through it. So that sucks. And so when Deathstroke blows up the grenade, Deathstroke gets pushed out of the window, and when he's getting pushed out of the window, looks like a bad situation for him, but then he mentions that he knows how to kill the unkillable man. Then we move on to issue 16, and this is just great as well. I mean, Justin Jordan did such a great job in writing this. I definitely recommend it. I can't wait to see where he goes with these next couple issues. They only have it on DC Online, DC Comics Online. That it's only going up to issue 19 so far. I mean, there might be more issues like issue 20 and so forth after that, but I don't know. I'm hoping that Deathstroke continues, at least with this team. It seems like they got a good plan on where to go, and have a good voice for Deathstroke, and definitely good art. So yeah, so we pick up again in issue 16, right where we left off, Deathstroke being blown out of the building. And he's having a problem with the people again. So again, I'm thinking that they want to impress Kosuke, or they're just thinking like, why is this guy gonna kill our god, or whatever. But Deathstroke mentions that he needs the people, so he can't kill them. So he kind of just gets away from him. There's some stuff with Elena afterwards, and that's where he finds out that she's actually the leader of the rebel group. And he pretty much mentions that he's not going to be the one that kills Kosuke, and that they are. So this kind of shocks her, and then turn the page, and then you just got Kosuke just brutally killing this guy, one of his guards, for letting Deathstroke get away. And he's actually, like, you don't see him doing it. Well, you kind of see him doing it. I'll show you what I mean. In this panel right here, well, first you see, like, the yelling noise, and in this panel you just see Kosuke over somebody that's laying on a table, and then you see his hands covered in blood, and then behind him there's a guy that is dead. So what you can pretty much get is that he's, like, going in this guy's body with his bare hands, and that's gotta be terrible. And actually in the last issue, the previous issue, Deathstroke mentions that Kosuke is strong, but he's probably just as strong as Deathstroke is, that he is. So if Deathstroke can also do that, I mean, Deathstroke's a lot smaller than this guy. I mean, Deathstroke is big, but this guy is big. And so Deathstroke is that strong, I definitely wouldn't want to mess with him. Not that I would, even if he wasn't that strong. But anyways, back to the story. Rebels start rebelling, of course, against the government. And they pretty much get all the bodyguards to surrender. And so then Kosuke comes out. And he's pretty much, like, shredding these rebels apart on his own. And like I said, if Kosuke and Deathstroke are as strong as each other, then Deathstroke can also rip some guy's arm off, because that's exactly what Kosuke does in this panel. And it's brutal. The action here is definitely top notch, but I mean, just look at that page. This guy right here got his arm ripped off, and then another guy got hit with the arm. So, like, very detailed. And then Kosuke mentions that he's deathless, and then, oh, here's a good panel right here. 2-page deal we got. Deathstroke cuts off his head. Definitely cool. That's the kind of art that I wish I could draw. But anyways, so Deathstroke pretty much mentions that he's not gonna kill him, like, through all the talking, all the back and forth that they're having between each other. Deathstroke mentions that he's not gonna kill him because, of course, he can't kill him, but instead he's just gonna beat him. And by beating him, he means that all the people, all the townspeople now, with a couple of, like, inspiring words by Elena and this whole speech that she gives, they're gonna pretty much just brutalize Kosuke, like, just dismember him 24/7. Like, for as long as however they want. For as long as forever. Just 24/7. He's just gonna be, like, dismembered, and every time he tries to regenerate or whatever, he's gonna get dismembered again and again and again and again. Until he decides that he's ready to kill himself. And that was Deathstroke's plan the whole time. Wasn't that to kill him, but was to get him to the point where he doesn't want to live anymore. That's pretty scary if you think about it. At the end, you see Kosuke, bad shape, that top panel right over here. You see his arm way over there. But Deathstroke's like, you know what, I'll give you a choice. I'll give you a fighting chance, and I'll give you a gun. And it's your choice. You can either try to kill him. Deathstroke says you can either try to kill me, you can try to kill the rebels, or you can do nothing and allow these people to dismember you 24/7 for as long as forever. And so Kosuke mentions that I'm not gonna lose because he's Kosuke and he's arrogant, and so he kills himself. And see at the top. And then Deathstroke pretty much mentions, alright, my contract is over, I fulfilled it. And then then we just lead into the next issue where you know, things are gonna be going down as well in there too. So anyways, pretty good. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it's definitely refreshing to see Deathstroke being written pretty good again. He's a very cool character if you like the whole bounty hunter mercenary type deal, you know, getting hired to do jobs and whatever. Very entertaining, very action-packed story. The Deathstroke's plan is very thought out, very cool. Justin Jordan does a great job in voicing Deathstroke, voicing Slade Wilson as well. Definitely gives a little funniness throughout this story that I didn't mention. There's just some funny lines, not hilarious, but they go well with his character. The art, like I said before, Edgar Salazar bringing it in the art, just characterizes Deathstroke very well. Like what else can I say? It's just a great story arc, 2-issue story arc. Definitely a great intro for this new writing team. Before then, I hadn't really heard of either of them, so to get on Deathstroke and do a pretty good job, definitely a good refresher from where we left off with Deathstroke, and not very many people liking it. So that's why I feel like that's why I want these guys to stay on Deathstroke for a lot longer. I hope it doesn't end with issue 19, but if it does, I guess knowing that Deathstroke will be finishing off this whole run in good hands is pretty good. But anyways, I definitely recommend picking it up. Just before I go, like I've been doing, I might have artwork for any type of special video I do, like story arc review or my Thursdays free digital comic reviews. I might have some artwork for you. Might be 1, might be 2, might be 3, might be whatever number. But I just want to show you, since I've been talking about Deathstroke, I got, well, actually drew this in August, but since I'm talking about Deathstroke, got that drawing of Deathstroke. This is actually a picture that you can probably just go to Google, see this picture. This was when I wasn't drawing my own things, and I was just looking online and looking at pictures, pretty much learning how to draw. But definitely pretty good drawing right there, colored. Drew this in school. I drew this one in school after I took a test. Didn't have much time, so it's good. It's not great though, but it's pretty good. I like it a lot. And this one, bringing in a new character, not a new character, but definitely bringing in another character. I just thought it would be cool to share this with you guys since I am talking about Deathstroke right now. I thought this one would be cool. Deathstroke and Deadpool. Thought that was a cool idea. Came out pretty well. Anyways, so that's my art. And then that's also my video. So anyways, comment, subscribe, do whatever. Keep in touch. You know I like talking with you guys. And thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Wellington signing off with a comic book lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.